Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is Daniel Rahel coming to you with a yin practice today. So for our yin practice, if you have them at home, blocks, a blanket, or a towel. The blocks could also be books, and I'm sitting on a bolster. So either a bolster if you have it, or a nice thick towel that you can wrap around itself and roll it into a nice tight roll so it becomes a longer bolster. The playlist I will also have in the comments below, but the playlist is the Meditation Shavasana playlist on my Spotify, which is Kundalini Rising. So to begin, we're going to do a little gentle rub of the palms, allowing the hands to come to stillness. Thumbs rest at the sternum, sternum lifts towards the thumbs. The eyes gently close. And we're going to begin with 3 rounds of Om. A-U-M, all 3 syllables are sounded. The ah deep down in the pelvis, the ooh sound traveling up to the heart, and the through the throat onto the lips. And that vibration rides through the body as we chant these 3 rounds of Om. A-U-M. You can join with me the first time, or listen the first time and join with me the second and third repetition. Big inhale to begin. The resonant sound of Om. Feel the vibration. Center in that echoing sound as it rolls through every cell in your body. Allowing the eyes to come open, and we'll come into our first posture. If you have the playlist, you'll push play on the first song of that playlist and just leave it alone. It will take us through the entire practice today. So the first posture, the left leg will go out long. The right foot will come in, inner sole of the right foot facing into the inner left thigh. If the right knee is high off the floor, make sure you take a block or something to go underneath just to bring the floor up to the knee. You don't want it hanging high. There you go. That way the bones are supported so the muscles can relax. I'm going to take an inhale to create length from the base of the pelvic bowl up through the spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to lean forward towards that left foot and completely collapse with the palms face up, the whole body at ease. The neck relaxes and the head hangs down. Any neck issues, you can make a structure with the blocks to make sure your head is supported by those blocks. So you can stack 1 block or 2 high. You don't need the blocks necessarily, but if you have any neck issues, definitely go there. Have come into the breath. Finding long, steady breath. You're not really controlling the breath at all. You're just allowing the breath to naturally deepen as you soften into the pose. Allow the whole body to relax into the breath, and allow the breath to carry you into a deeper state of ease in the mind. The whole practice of yin yoga is about surrender and letting go, softening. And as we soften and we release, the body opens up. We take these shapes, and then these shapes open the body in a whole new way. Keep softening and surrendering. Be in your forward fold, the whole body at ease. Being in that steady place of surrender, mind, body, and breath, feeling the connectivity without any force. The only effort in yin is non-effort. We set up the posture and then we release all control, all effort, body and mind at ease. Surrendering over and over, deeper levels of surrender. We breathe. Feel the inhalation coming in the body. Feel the exhalation leaving the body without any control. Allow the body to be breathed, and the mind is along for the ride. And as much as possible through the practice of yin yoga, be with the breath. Keep your mind centered on the breath. Letting the mind be present with the breathing rather than thinking of all types of other things. As much as you can, body and mind in unison in the practice. The palms turn to face down. And then on an inhale, we're going to rise up nice and slow. And on an exhalation, that right leg goes long, that left leg comes in. Resetting up on this side with the block under the left knee if you need it. Big inhale from the base of the spine, rising up each and every vertebra, creating length. And then a little turn towards the right foot and an exhale to release all the breath. Palms face up, resetting up your structure of the blocks to catch the forehead if you need it. And if not, just fall into your posture. Finding ease in the breath right away. The eyes are closed. Everything settles. Once we set the posture up, we allow the body to fall wherever it needs to go. Right? It will naturally find where it needs to be. In yoga, put stress on the joints. And with that stress on the joints, we clear the energy channels. Those energy channels get clear so that energy can flow more freely where that needs to go. Along with the stress on the joints, these longer holds open and lengthen the connective tissue, the fascia. This is also helping in the conducting of the energy that runs through us. So as we put stress on the joints, what we do is the blood flows differently around those joints. Then when we release the posture, there's greater ease of blood flow and oxygen through that area of the body. While we're maintaining the posture, the connective tissue is lengthened. This creates a combination effect that when we release the posture, we have more energetic flow with the opening of the joints and the lengthening of the connective tissue. Stay with the breath and the ease of the breath. Allow the mind to be at ease and find that place of utter release. The palms are at ease. The forearms are at ease. The whole body surrendered. No gripping in the hands, the shoulders, the neck, the face, the jaw. Absolute surrender. Letting go. And the palms gently turn to face down. And on an inhalation, riding the breath upright as you come back up to center. And on an exhale, the soles of the feet will come to touch. So we don't want the soles of the feet really in tight, close to the groin. We want them further out. So we make a nice diamond shape here. If the knees are really high, again, taking the blocks under each knee just to create stability and safety. Support the joints so we can release the muscles. Grabbing the soles of the feet and just giving a little squeeze, right? Just a little massage on the soles of the feet with the thumbs going up to the balls of the feet, getting the toes. Just giving a nice little massage. Beautiful. Getting on the heels, maybe getting the other fingers involved for the heels, the Achilles tendon. Just creating some love and ease in the feet before we go into this next posture. Beautiful. Finding stillness. Inhale. Find that upward lift. Exhale, fold forward, the palms face up, and we come all the way down as far as we can. Releasing the neck, releasing the head towards the floor, and being in our pose, our full butterfly pose here. Again, if you need it, you can take the blocks or a bolster to support the weight of the head, whichever height makes sense for you. Don't need the bolster, you don't need the bolster. Find where you need to be, find your edge, and then settle into the pose. No control over the breath, just release and ease, relaxation and surrender. As we go through the practice today, there'll be more and more calm, more and more sense of a deeper connection to that inner sanctuary, that sublime bliss that resides within each and every one of us, underneath the noise, underneath the amplified stress that can happen in our nervous system throughout our busy days, our social, economical systems. Allow the breath and the posture to really take you deeper and deeper to that inner connectivity, to that divine center of self, of well-being, of knowing that we are a spirit having a human experience. Breathe. Find deeper levels of freedom and release. Mind and body at ease. Keep riding the waves of the breath without controlling the breath. Allowing the mind to feel the inhalation and the exhalation, the sensations of the body being breathed, connecting to the self, the whole self, body, mind, breath, spirit. The palms turn face down. I'm going to inhale to rise all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to take the hands underneath the knees. Exhale, bring the knees up and together, getting the blocks out of the way if we were using them. And a little cross of the ankles. We're going to roll right over the knees, so we're on hands and knees. Then we're going to extend the legs long behind us, bring the belly down to the floor, and we're going to set up for Sphinx pose. So the elbows directly under the shoulders, and then the palms face down. And while we're in this position, the head can hang heavy towards the floor or set up with the block on its highest height, on its medium height, maybe even on its lowest height if you want to go there. Supporting the neck in the way that you feel is best for you. So in your Sphinx, setting the posture up and being with the breath. Release the neck, release the head. From the waist down, everything's at ease. Releasing the hips, releasing the thighs, the hamstrings. Releasing the knees, knee crease, shins, calves, ankles, soles of the feet and toes, all at ease. Whole body relaxed into the posture, mind relaxed into the breath soft, gentle, steady. We are breathed, we are held, we are supported in every breath, in every way, all the time. Never apart from, always a part of something greater, something more. We are life itself expressed as our individualized persona. Connect deeply with this outside entity. All that is life in abundance, the universal heartbeat. Connect deeply inside to this entity, the soul sanctuary, the beautiful bliss, the divinity within, matching the universal partnership in and out, oneness and breath. If you would like, we're going to transition to Sphinx pose. The arms go at an angle so that the hands are on the corners of the mat, pushing into the palms, straightening the arms. So the arms are nice and straight so we can lock the elbow joints and rest on the joints as we come higher up into our seal pose. The head stays folded in, the neck is released. Breathe here. It's a little bit more intense. It's a little bit more of a back bend. If you've come up to seal and it's too much for you, go back down to Sphinx. It's not about making more. It's about doing enough and allowing that to be enough. You are enough. Whether you're in Sphinx or in Seal, reconnect to the breath. Be in the body, body and mind at ease. Big inhale wherever you are. And on an exhale, coming back down to the elbows if you're in Seal. Removing the block wherever you are. And then coming lying as the elbows go wide, fingertips come towards the elbows, and bring the head right down to rest for a moment. Lifting the head slightly. The hands are going to come on either side of the chest. We're going to inhale as we push up. And we're going to exhale, sitting the hips back to the heels. Then we're going to step forward with the left foot, framing the hands on either side of that left foot. If that doesn't work, you can always bring both hands on the inside. If palms down bothers the wrists in any way, you can go to fist down. So that right leg slides back, and we keep a right angle bent in this left knee on the left side. For our dragon pose, Breathing here, nice, smooth, and steady. Ease in the body and mind. This is the most active part of our sequence today. Finding ease and release. Anytime any sense of resistance arises in the body, meet that resistance with more surrender, more ease. No need to fight. Relax and breathe. Be at ease. Surrender. Meeting that resistance with a letting go. Any resistance rises, we meet that resistance the same way we let the breath flow in and out of us. It may take more than just one round of breath for the resistance to resolve itself. And as that resistance dissolves, we find another layer of surrender. Be with the breath. Any rising resistance, meeting that resistance with greater ease, greater surrender. No fight. Just meeting that resistance with letting go. You can stay right here in this posture, or bringing the left hand to the left knee, bringing the right hand on top, and getting a little higher in our dragging, sinking a little bit more in the hips. You may feel this stretch a little bit more over here on the right hip flexor, down the right thigh. If you can, you're sinking into the hips, finding that edge. If this is too much, put the hands back down. Breathe and be breathed. That divine partnership, all that is external, all that is internal, unity, harmony within and without. Big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Taking the left knee back to the floor, we're going to switch sides, stepping up with the right foot. That right angle in to that right knee. We can frame on either side of that right foot. If that's really good for you, you can stay right there. Or you can bring the hands on the inside of the right foot, palms down or fists down. Slide that left leg back slightly if you will. And then drop into the posture to find the breath. You set it up. You find your edge. You find that place that it's just enough. Just enough is plenty. And then settle in and be breathed. Mind and body surrendered and at ease. Any resistance that arises, meet it with greater surrender and letting go. No fight. The fight builds tension rather than releasing. Surrender and let go. And if you would like to go further, same thing on this side. Right hand comes to the right knee. Left hand comes on top. And we come up a little bit higher to sink in the hips. Again, you'll feel it on that left hip flexor. Breathe and find ease. Sink into the hips a little further if you can. Find that edge. And then settle and breathe. The big inhale and exhale. Bring the hands back down. Bringing the right knee next to the left. I'm going to open the legs out wide, right? So the knees come out nice and wide. The toes touch. So the big toes come together to touch. Knees out wide, preparing for our frog. If you like, a blanket or a block can come down in front of you to land the chest on. Or you can just come all the way down to the floor, right? So whatever works for you, either landing the chest onto a block or coming all the way down to the floor. And then hands come all the way extended out in front. Arms are long. If that doesn't work, it's too much for you, you can just rest on the forearms and support the head with a block. This is a pretty big one. Be with the breath. Settle in wherever you've gone. Being so centered. Feel as we go through the practice, as we open up these energetic channels, there is a deeper connection and settling, centering inside of ourselves. The whole practice is a meditation. Connecting deeply to that inner sanctuary. Connecting deeply to all that surrounds the body, that which we believe is external. The external and the internal, finding balance through the practice of yoga to yoke, to unite, to bring back together what was once separate. It's really not separate at all. There is one force, one divinity, one unity running through all things. We are part of that. Always a part of, never apart from, never separate, never alone, always held, supported, and loved. We are part of life itself, unfolding, evolving, becoming, and what is happening no matter what it seems like. It is Sat Kartar, it is God that is doing the moving. God is the mover, God is the doer, and through all things we connect and we move forward in goodness and in grace. The plan may seem messy, it may seem unbelievable and hard to understand. It may be trying, just like the resistance in some of these poses, but if we meet it with surrender and ease, if we have faith, when we let go and surrender, when we get to the other side, we can see the gift in the struggle. Just like our lives, when we look back through our entire line of existence, every mistake, every failure, every hard time ended up teaching us, growing us, evolving us into something more magnificent. Life operates the same way. It is messy, but it is beautifully orchestrated. Gently walking the hands back, elbows underneath the shoulders. Gently coming up, slowly bringing in one knee at a time, keeping the knees close together, taking the hips to the heels. We're going to go into child's pose, right? Keeping the knees as close together as we can. And then folding down, landing on a block or forehead to the floor. And then the palms turn face up by the feet. The palms face up by the feet will release the back of the heart. The knees close together will release the SI joint, as close as the knees can for your body. That may not be touching for everybody. It may be touching for some. But keeping them as close as you come back and fold into the child's pose, the knees may part a little bit. That's okay. Just trust your body. Do the best you can and settle into the breath. It's a little bit longer here. This isn't a long one. Steadiness and ease. Surrender and letting go. The hands coming from around the back, palms face down on either side of the chest. I'm going to inhale to rise up. And on an exhale, we're just going to remove that block away and out to the side. From here, we're going to move into a pigeon pose. So we're going to come up to tabletop. We're going to slide the left leg back, and we're going to bring the right knee forward. And you'll see that my foot on the right side just popped out. So it's right in front of that left hip flexor. So now my right thigh, my right thigh's here, my right calf is now at an angle towards the left hip flexor. So right knee's front, left leg is long in the back. We're going to inhale, creating a rise up the midline of the spine. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward with that length, landing on the elbows or coming down to a block, or coming all the way down to forearms or to the floor. Whatever is most comfortable for you, that's where you'll go. This is a bit of a big one. The hips hold a lot of energy, a lot of stuckness from our childhood. Every time we were told no, we felt unseen, unheard. Trauma, abuse, things of that nature stay lodged in the hips. First and second and third chakra are affected, and we create this opening and we release. It may get rather intense, but be with the breath, be at ease, surrender as much as you can. Some people find it very helpful to tuck a block underneath that right buttock, right? So there's just a little bit of support. You can take a blanket, put it underneath that right buttock and thigh if you like. And another adjustment, if you will, you can take the bolster, put it underneath the chest and land on the bolster rather than coming down to the floor. Got plenty of time here, so find where you want to be and settle in. Riding the waves of resistance, riding the waves of the breath, meeting both with ease, without control, surrendering the ego, the push, the getting there, the fight, and just riding down the stream of life, floating with ease and breath, connectedness and surrender, with the faith and confidence in the present and in the future. You are okay. You are held. You are breathed. You are supported and loved. Let yourself be carried. Breathe and let go. Breathe and be free. Breathe. Deeper and deeper relief. Breathe. Steady in the breath. Palms plant firmly on the ground. The inhale to rise up. And on an exhale, we're just going to push back, bringing that right knee next to the left. And we're going to switch sides. So this time the left knee comes forward. Left foot will pop out diagonally here. So it's right in front of the right hip flexor. Sliding it back, right? So right now my left heel is right into my right hip. Inhale, rise with the breath. Exhale, folding forward, setting it up in any way that you need to on this side. So the forehead coming to the ground. If the ground's not accessible, the forehead coming down onto the forearms. If that's not accessible, you'll come down onto the elbows. Setting up with a bolster, if you like, and taking that block and putting it under the left buttock, if you choose. And settling into the breath right there. Ease in breath, steadiness and ease. Layers and layers of surrender. Layers and layers and layers of release. I'm always surprised every time I do the practice of yin. Just when I think I can't release, I can't surrender any further, there's another layer of letting go, a new surrender beyond that surrender, and I believe that that is infinite. that there is layer after layer, depth after depth, a letting go and then a letting go again and again and again. Feels so good. Be with the breath. Be with the practice. Mind and body at ease. Bringing the palms back to the earth wherever they are. And on an inhale, rising up. And on an exhale, slowly taking that left knee back to where the right is, bringing the right forward. A little wag of the hips. Crossing the ankles behind you so you can just push straight back, rolling to a seat. Legs come out forward and allowing yourself to come lying onto your backs. We're going to inhale, bringing the right knee up. Exhale, left hand onto the right knee. Inhale, draw that right knee in a little closer with the left hand. And then on an exhale, just taking that taking that right knee over across the body to the left side. This right hand, if the right shoulder pops up, can just go palm facing out, right on the small of the back. And just being here in the spinal twist, bringing the practice to a close. Gaze can stay looking straight up, or you can turn and the gaze can look off to the left. coming back to center. Exhale, let that right leg go long, left hand back to the floor, everything comes to the floor. And a round of breath here, filling the lungs, releasing the breath. On an inhale, the left knee bends in towards the chest. On an exhale, the right hand over to the left knee. Inhale, drawing that left knee in a little closer with the right hand. And then exhale, left knee across the body. And then that left hand, palm face out on the small of the back. Gaze can stay looking up or gaze over to the right. And settling in, just finding the breath. Being at ease, whole body released for the moment, bringing the practice to a close. And on an inhale, coming up. And on an exhale, everything long to the floor, palms face up, and you find your Shavasana. The body should feel great, the hips should feel open. You can feel the difference in our body from the time we began till now. And surrender deeply onto the floor to find your Shavasana. The body and breath completely soft. The mind surrendered. Stay here in your Shavasana for as long as serves you. Be at ease, be well, be rested, you divine, beautiful spirit.